It's Sunday, April 26, 2026, and we have a large enhanced and slight risk for severe weather today across portions of the plains. That severe weather risk shifts into the Midwest as we move into tomorrow, Monday, and then on Tuesday it shifts down through portions of the Ohio Valley and Dixie Alley. So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. This is our severe weather risk today. We have a large marginal, slight, and enhanced risk for severe weather. If we break this down, 4 million people are in this enhanced risk, including Kansas City, Wichita, Overland Park, and Topeka, Kansas. Those are some of the larger cities in that enhanced risk or 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. The slight, 14 million, and the marginal has 15 million people in that zone today. So obviously a lot of people could be affected by this weather. We want to make sure we stay updated today. This is our tornado risk today. So a large 2% and a smaller 5% that encompasses most of central and eastern Kansas. You can see Kansas City, Wichita, Tulsa, Topeka, Salina, some of the larger cities that are in this 5% here. We also have this large SIG 1 area, meaning we could see up to EF2 strength tornadoes in this region here. This does include cities all the way down to Dallas, Fort Worth through Oklahoma City as well. Taking a look at our wind risk today, we have a large 5, 15, and 30% risk for damaging winds. That 30% area does include cities like Wichita, Topeka, Kansas City, and St. Joseph. And then let's break down the hail. Again, a large 5, 15 to 30% hail risk. And we have the SIG 1 hail risk in here, meaning we could see hail larger than 2 to 3 inches. We have a large enhanced risk tomorrow, and this does include areas like Chicago, St. Louis, Aurora, Rockford, and Naperville. This is 18.4 million people in the enhanced zone tomorrow. So again, a lot of people in this risk zone tomorrow. The slight is 18.4 million people as well, and then the marginal 21 million. Breaking down our tornado threat tomorrow, we actually have a large 10% SIG 2 risk for tornadoes, meaning we could see an EF3 plus strength tornado touchdown in this region here. That's what these dashed lines are. This is the SIG 2, and then these hatch marks here, that represents the SIG 1, where we could see up to an EF2 strength tornado. Now, again, if you're just outside of these risk zones, you need to make sure you're paying attention. If you're out here in Chicago and you're like, I'm not in the 10% SIG 2, no, don't look at it like that. You can get strong tornadoes anywhere out here in this region tomorrow, but especially Cedar Rapids down through Davenport, all the way down to St. Louis, of course, northern Illinois, northeastern Missouri, and south and eastern Iowa definitely need to have a way to get alerts tomorrow. Large 45% wind risk here. This does mean that from any point in this pink shaded area, there's a 45% chance you could see a damaging wind event within 25 miles of that location. And if we break this down a little bit more, you can see 17.2 million people in that 45% risk zone. Again, Naperville, Rockford, Aurora, St. Louis, and Chicago. And once again, a large hail risk all the way up to a 30% hail risk. And you can see this entire area is SIG'd or hatched, meaning we could see hail over 2 to 3 plus inches. We also have the risk for severe weather on Tuesday. So I'm not going to fully break this down right now because I want to get into today and tomorrow. But in tomorrow's video, I'll go over what we can expect with Tuesday's severe weather. All you need to know right now is it could stretch from the plains all the way up through the Ohio Valley. Before I break down today and tomorrow's severe weather, quickly, I wanted to go over our WPC or Weather Prediction Center Precipitation Forecast. Here's a 72-hour forecast. So obviously through portions of the plains, Ohio Valley, and Midwest, we're getting a lot of moisture. Going out to 5 days, we're finally getting some out there in the southeast. And then that 7-day forecast brings a lot up into really, everywhere out east. We're talking about the plains all the way out to the east coast, including down to the southeast, except for Florida looks to stay pretty dry over the next 7 days. Taking a look at our temperatures, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. It's cool for the east. It's warm for the west. Same as the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. And look at the 3 to 4 week outlook. Still, we're expected cooler than average temperatures really almost through the entire month of May out east. All right, let's break down our severe weather a little bit more. Here's our 3-day severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. As you can see, day 1, so Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Taking a look at the timing for today's severe weather, it does look like we could have some strong to severe thunderstorms firing off through portions of north central or northeastern Texas and central Oklahoma as early as 4 to 5 p.m. There's going to be some capping here, so it's possible these storms don't actually initiate. But again, make sure you're aware of what's going on in your area. Make sure you have a way to get alerts if you're down here through portions of Oklahoma and northern Texas. Now, as we get closer to 8, 9, and 10, this is when we could get some stronger supercells firing off once again through portions of north central Oklahoma. And you can also see we have some supercells trying to initiate across portions of Kansas up here to the north. Again, I think there's going to be some capping issues throughout the day. The latest stage RRR actually has very, very strong storms initiating out here in eastern Kansas as we get into around 3, 4, 5 a.m. Central Time. This forecast has really changed. This is why I don't really like to make my forecast based off of the updraft helicity reflectivity or future reflectivity in general, because we saw storms firing off all over Kansas yesterday when we were looking at this, and now they're down in Oklahoma or they're across eastern Kansas really, really early in the morning tomorrow. tomorrow, so let's break this down a little bit more. We have a pretty organized mid-level jet, so this is at the 500 millibar level. This is going to help to organize these storms, and we also have a pretty decent 850 millibar jet as well, so down there at the low levels. Especially as we get into around 10, 11, and 12, you can see we have a lot of shear, and this is converging with that west-southwesterly 500 millibar jet, so there's going to be some rotational shear in the atmosphere here. Not a super tight baroclinic boundary here, but if you do have storms firing off, this does mean they have a large area to latch onto here. But I do think this does mean we're going to have a little bit of an issue with forcing with these storms getting initiated off the ground today. We have plenty of moisture up here. You can see these high dew points. Once again, though, it's pretty diffuse. We don't have a very sharp boundary here, so our storm's actually going to be able to break through that cap. We'll have to see. We do have a nicer dry line, though, now across portions of western Oklahoma, and you can also see we have tropical moisture down here. So I do think that's why we have more storms on the latest HRRR firing off across this region, or potentially a few strong supercells. You can see here on our surface-based CAPE and crossover map, significant instability. We're talking 3,000 to 4,000 plus joules per kilogram of surface CAPE, and we have those winds at the surface coming out of the south, and then those winds at the 850 and up at the 500 millibar coming out of the southwest and out of the west. So once again, rotational shear will be present to form these supercells, and we do have those winds also strengthening with height. So we have that velocity shear as well. Not a bad looking hodograph out of south central Kansas here. You can see possible hazard type TOR, a lot of instability, and you can definitely see that rotational shear coming from the surface. And then as we move up towards the 500 millibar, also some good surface shear, 30 knot shear, and some good SRH. So 341 storm relative helicity. That tells us we could see some violent rotation associated with thunderstorms if they do fire off today. But you can see we have some inhibition, meaning we do have some capping today. Taking a look at tomorrow's severe threat, like I said, very large enhanced risk for severe weather through portions of the Midwest. Let's take a look at how this could progress. The latest HRRR actually puts some strong storms across central Missouri through the morning hours tomorrow. We're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 a.m. We could see some strong thunderstorms moving across central Missouri. We get out towards the early afternoon hours, 1, 2, 3 p.m. We see some strong potential supercells across southern Illinois. We're watching what's happening across central Iowa as well. We see some strong thunderstorms firing off up there. And now we're watching the border between Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky as well as we get into the late afternoon and early evening hours, where we see some strong thunderstorms moving through the region, pushing into the mid to late evening hours. We now start to see strong thunderstorms firing off across Illinois and then potentially central to southern Missouri again. So it's looking a lot messier than it was originally. Originally, it looked like we could have a nice kind of tight MCS or squall line across the region moving east. This is very broken up now, but there's definitely the potential for some very damaging and severe thunderstorms capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, and again, those EF2, EF3 plus tornadoes. Definitely a nice jet streak at the 500 millibar level. And this is why I'm also surprised we're not seeing more organization with the storm. Our low-level jet really does get going as we get into around 3 to 4 p.m. and then it strengthens throughout the evening across portions of Illinois, Indiana, western Kentucky, even southern Wisconsin, and then portions of Michigan as well. You can see where our warm boundary is setting up tomorrow as we get into the early afternoon across portions of northern Missouri, southern Illinois, and then portions of central Indiana. And this is where we could have some strong storms forming and pushing east. And this is why we're definitely going to be watching central to western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and southern Indiana. We're likely going to see some strong storms attempting to form along this boundary here. Dew points pushing 65 to 70, moving up into portions of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and western Kentucky as well. Once again, just taking a look at the latest parameters on the HRRR, this area is likely going to be extremely buoyant, and if we do have a warm frontal boundary set up here, it could be a significant setup for some strong storms. Here's our instability for tomorrow, and you can see that moving across portions of Missouri, and then through central Illinois into southern Indiana, and again, western Kentucky. This is actually a sounding I pulled out of St. Louis tomorrow. PDS TOR sounding. Significant enough instability. You see we have that rotation from the surface up to the 500 millibar level. Curved hodograph here, 265 storm relative helicity, and almost 40 knot shear down at the surface. You could get a violent tornado with these parameters, so I would definitely say I keep talking a lot about southern Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, central Missouri. We're going to want to watch that as well. And then again, later into the evening, it does look like we could have another round of storms up there in Iowa and across central Illinois as well. It's just looking like a messy day tomorrow. I'm probably going to do another update. Well, I am going to do another update on this tomorrow morning, and hopefully we have a little bit better of an idea of where these storms are going to fire off and when. But regardless, it's really going to be an all-day event for portions of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload a new video or live stream. I do plan on live streaming tonight some of the severe weather, so if you want to join in and ask any questions, feel free. I also have a weather Discord that's awesome. There's almost 700 weather enthusiasts in there. It's updated every single day with the latest on severe weather, winter weather, climatology, tropical weather, everything you want to know. It's completely free. The link is right below in the description. You can also just add Connor's Climate Corner on Discord. I'll accept the friend request and make you a member of the Climate Crew. Once again, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one or in the live stream tonight.